Hi everyone, and welcome back to the legacy challenge that we're doing on the channel. It is the Build Newcrest Legacy Challenge, and actually for the first time we are building something. So if you guys don't know how this works, the Legacy Challenge, you basically play different generations, and each generation has their own lot type that they are going to then build. Now, in this case, we played as the first generation an alien sim called Stevie, and her lot is the park. So we turned their little home, as you can see here, this little kind of mobile home, into an actual park. Now, what I did want to do though is leave the sort of structure of the mobile home in the park still, just so that it when you go to the lot, it reminds you like, oh, okay, this was Stevie's place, like this was Stevie's house. And I thought that was just really cute. I really like the idea of leaving a little part of her here in the slot, because yeah, I think for me that's what the challenge is about, to build up Newcrest in a way that is very specific to the generations that have lived there. So yeah, I'm having so much fun with the Legacy Challenge. I will leave the link to it below in the description in case you guys want to try it out for yourself. But this park that I'm building here, it's nothing too crazy. I've built quite a few parks before and I made them a lot more like extravagant, I guess, like a lot more detailed and stuff. Whereas with this one, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to build a park that has everything you need, but is not like too crazy. So yeah, for that reason, it's not the most special one that you've probably ever seen. But like I said, I just wanted it to kind of, have the feeling of, okay, Stevie lived here and stuff like that. And also have everything you need. But that's pretty much it. I wouldn't say it's it's like spectacular. So yeah, here I am. I'm just using the lot on the left. It's not a lot actually. It's just kind of, well, in the world, but there's already a monkey set there and an ice skating rink and stuff like that. So I'm using the same sort of layout of that here. So that's why I've divided it into 4 parts. And I really like that idea because actually each part of the park has its own little function. So as you can see here, this one is going to be the garden part where we keep all of our plants. So also what was part of the Legacy Challenge for this generation was that I had to build the park using the really good quality, like perfect quality plants that I have. You can see most of them are like magnificent or amazing, whatever level they are. So I had to keep some of them there, at least 8. I think I kept a lot more, but I like that idea again, because your Sims can just come into the slot and basically harvest as much as they want and anything they want. So yeah, it worked out pretty well, I think, in that regard. And yeah, I'm just, moving some trees around, trying to make some space because the lot itself isn't the biggest, of course, so the park can't be that big. But I think, as I said, I made sure it has everything it needs. It has a toilet even. It will have a little like kitchenette part in the little home, and yeah, your Sims can just chill out here and maybe do some gardening, or the kids can play. You can play some chess and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it came out really well. I'm very happy with it, and I'm happy that it's my first sort of generation lot. It does feel very rewarding, I guess, when you've worked for it so not worked for it so much. I mean, I make it sound so so dramatic. It's really not, but you do put, of course, a lot of work into your generation, your family, and then to see it kind of become a lot of its own that others can use is pretty cool. Actually, it's very rewarding, I think, as a player. So yeah, I'm looking forward to just, I don't know, like generations on visiting this park. And I can imagine like the parents telling the kids like, oh, your great grandmother Stevie, built this park. I just love that idea. But yeah, I actually imagine when I was building it that Stevie would have had a lot. Of course, she's the one that kind of is building up Newcrest at the moment. and then her daughter Tabitha is going to carry on the legacy. But for now, Stevie really did, I think, make the decisions for this park, and that's why, you know, she decided to have a little kids area, because she herself is very family oriented, a big garden space, because that's literally what she loves to do. She loves to garden, and yeah, you know, play. Oh, I can't speak anymore. A place to play chess as well. I mean, that's just because it's a requirement for a park, apparently. You know, which is funny when you think about it, because I swear the parks I've been to never have chess tables. I don't know if this is like an American thing or not, but at least in the UK, and also I think the Netherlands, like, you will never find a chess table in public. I don't even think I've ever seen a chess table in my life. Maybe that's saying something about me, I don't know, but yeah. So here, this little rectangle that we're building right now is probably my favorite spot of the park, because it has the chess tables, but it also has a really nice sort of garden area, where there's just plants growing, and there's a fountain in the middle. So I don't know, just the feeling of it here is really, really nice. I think I would love to just sit here and pretend I can play chess and look intellectual whilst enjoying the fountain and the flowers and stuff like that. So that would be my dream. And I also placed, of course, benches looking out into the playground as well. I thought that would be nice, you know, for the parents to just keep an eye on their children, make sure they're safe and having fun. But yeah, so it's slowly kind of coming together at this point, and you know, I was just, as I said, thinking about what kind of things I can fit and where. But I am glad that I kept it, like, I didn't crowd it too much. I guess it's not too crammed, at least I hope not, because sometimes what I struggle with in builds is just I add way too much, and at the end of the day, you know, your Sims come here for a few hours maybe, and they do like one or two things, but mostly they just want to talk to other Sims, or, you know, I don't know, garden stuff. So yeah, I didn't add too much, and I think that's okay. I think in the end that works out quite well anyway. So here's what the back of the house, I'm adding this little sort of, yeah, space where your Sims can come out and just, you know, sit down with a drink or get some food from the little kitchen. I also do add a grill. I know there's a grill nearby here, but I thought, you know, maybe just to have one on the lot is a good idea as well. So there will be a grill, and then they can sit out on those little tables and just enjoy that time. But that is a more secluded part of the park, which is also cool, because if you go out for a date or something, the Sims can definitely just chill out there basically and have a nice sort of quiet romantic time. Here we are, we're back to back to here. I do spend quite a long time at this point, just to get the feeling of this little space, you know, get the feeling right of this space basically. And yeah, I think my motivation actually to build this, just, it was it came a lot from The Sims 3, because I don't know if you guys played that, but in The Sims 3 the parks are really nice, like they're not overcrowded. But I just, the one thing that I really remember a lot is when I first got Sims 3 and I played it after Sims 2, I thought the graphics were amazing. Like, I know that's really silly to say now when we have Sims 4, which looks absolutely beautiful, but I really, really thought, like, at the time, like, whoa, these graphics for The Sims 3, absolutely beautiful. And I remember I used to just get my Sims to sit in a park on a bench, and they were like surrounded by these really nice flowers, like flower bushes. And at the time I was just like absolutely amazed, you know, at how beautiful it all looked. Which is funny now that you think about it, because, you know, things have come so far. And I know that a lot of people, of course, say that The Sims 4 lacks a lot of gameplay, but I mean, what they did do well is graphics. You know, the game looks really, really beautiful, which, yeah, isn't the best thing, of course, because we do prefer gameplay most of the time. But yeah, it's just funny thinking about it now. I kind of used it as motivation, where your Sims can just sit down and, you know, there's flowers around them and like a little fountain. I don't know, it just sets the mood. Here as well, what I'm using is actually the debug menu, and yeah, I'm just filling in any sort of gaps and things like that with the flower pots. I think that makes more sense than just having, you know, wild flowers everywhere. And you guys can access this as well. It's not too difficult. I will leave it in the description box, the cheats that you have to enter to access the debug menu. But yeah, anyone can access this. And I'm also here adding these arches also from the debug menu. I did try to add the fence gate arch, which is in the middle. So the middle arch is actually the fence gate, but these ones are just the debug items. When I added the fence gate, I couldn't put it to the side enough because it kept getting rid of the fence in the end. So I just thought, okay, I'll just use the debug items instead because they're literally the same thing. So yeah, that worked out quite well. And here I'm putting in the actual arch. So yeah, it's coming along. I do like the arches a lot. Again, this was something that Stevie had in her own garden. She had greenhouses and then she had an arch at the back of the garden. So I wanted to keep that sort of feeling, just as if, you know, her presence is still there, like her sort of, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to call it, but you guys know what I mean. Oh, that sounds kind of creepy, like her presence is still there. It's not in a creepy way, it's like supposed to be nice, you know. Nice and nostalgic. But yeah, so here's that area coming along a little bit now. I was really reluctant about the flowers that I chose, like those purple big ones. I think they're from the Romantic Garden stuff pack. And I don't know, I just wasn't feeling them. So in the end, I do put those little bushes, purple bushes that are a little bit further away now, in their space, and that works much better. Here again, I'm getting distracted. So this is what happens when I do a build. Even this little build, I think took me, I don't know, 2 hours or so, and it really shouldn't have. Like when I concentrate and I have an idea in mind, I just get to it. But then if I open the buy catalog, it's like I go down a little rabbit hole, and then I'm just, you know, I could spend like an hour looking at debug, for example, and pulling stuff out that I'll probably never use. Here we go. So I'm just swapping over the bushes now. I think those work so much better. And the reason that I use those colors in particular is because Stevie's favorite colors were the sort of, yeah, I don't know, what would you guys call it? Like a light blue-green, cyan, turquoise, one of those, I think. Which is on the door right now of the home, and also a purple, like a soft purple color. So I really like the idea of using a lot of those colored plants in this build. I think that's a really nice idea. Again, to give her that, what is this called? Like recognition? Heritage? I don't know. You guys know what I mean though. To kind of, here we go. How to English with Gabby. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of the word. Oh, absolutely can't. Having a block. So yeah, but you guys know what I mean anyway. And yeah, here we go. I'm adding the planter boxes as well behind instead of the wildflowers. I do add a few wildflowers in the end, but not too much. And actually what I added next to the benches later on are the apple trees, because I couldn't really fit them into the garden plot that we made. And I thought, you know, in parks usually you do get just not wild trees, but you know, trees that might have apples, for example, or other fruits. So it's perfectly normal, I would say. And yeah, I added it next to the benches. Here we go. And I think that's nice, and it also adds a little bit of greenery in that section as well, because you know, a park needs to have like lots of trees and greenery and stuff. So yeah, that worked well. I think that did work well. And here I am doing a little bit of terrain paint. Again, nothing too crazy, guys, you know, don't expect miracles from this little place, but it's just to make it look a little bit more realistic. Also, sorry for the cars, guys. Again, I haven't kind of configured my microphone today for this little recording, as yeah, I didn't have enough time, unfortunately. So I hope that the car sound isn't too bad. I still need to configure configure it. Oh, I cannot speak, guys. I'm teaching English later today, and I can't even speak in my own voiceover, so that's a good sign, isn't it? It's just one of those days, you know. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but I'm feeling very sort of under the weather, and I think it's just because, I don't know, like, I really like autumn, don't get me wrong, but when it comes around and it's all gloomy all of a sudden, I just can't help but feel a bit under the weather, you know. So yeah, but I hope everyone else is doing well. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy autumn a lot, and I know a lot of people do. I think autumn is definitely one of my favorite times of the year, but it's just, I think, getting used to the change of the weather. That's usually what it is. Oh, and here I'm just adding this little nice roof detail. I don't think this technically shelters your plants that are underneath this roof, but I mean, that wasn't really my sort of purpose of this. It was just really to look nice. So yeah, it's not kind of gonna shelter the plants, but I think that's okay. I mean, it makes sense. It's a public park, so the plants are there just to grow anyway. It's not like they're really belonging to someone necessarily. It's like a community shared garden space, so the plants will grow with the season, but I think that's okay. I don't think that's a problem. I do add these hydroponic planters though. Oh, there's a bird going crazy outside. It's just literally outside on a tree. I think he's trying to woo the female bird. Oh, I'm seeing it all happen here, folks. So yeah, I think Stevie did have one of these from her late husband, and they're really, really handy. I think you have to fabricate them, if I'm not mistaken, because I found them in the debug menu. So if you guys didn't know, if your Sims are gardeners, definitely try to make these planters instead, because then the plants get watered automatically, which I think is amazing. I love that. It saves so much time and patience. So yeah, I did move a lot of plants here. I actually had to delete some, and I think some Stevie took with her, so I didn't leave all of the plants that we had here, but I think that's okay. I mean, there's plenty enough here, and yeah, your Sims can just go crazy and harvest them or whatever else they'd like to do with them. So yeah, there we go. It's coming together, adding a few more trees and stuff, but this area pretty much is just for the garden. Nothing else really happens here. I could, thinking about it now, I could probably add a bee box as well, but again, I kind of want this garden to be a bit more self-sufficient, so in case someone doesn't really look after the garden, it's not the end of the world, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I might just kind of leave it as it is. Also, you guys can download this. It will be on the gallery, probably not straight away, so if you're watching this the day the video comes out, which is Saturday the 3rd of October, then it might not be on the gallery yet, but maybe later on I will add it. The only thing that I wanted to add to the slot, which I haven't yet, and hence why it might take a little bit longer, is I wanted to add like a portrait of Stevie in the little house, because I don't know, I want a piece of them to be there, you know. Literally a piece of Keenan is there, because we've got his urn still here. As you can see, it's in the house right now, and that's because, I don't know, I thought it would be a bit weird if Stevie took him away from the place where he, you know, passed away. So I kind of wanted to keep his urn here in this slot, and then I thought it would be nice for the family and future generations to come here and kind of mourn over him, you know, celebrate his life, celebrate his memory. So I really like that idea, and yeah, that's why I kept it there, so that, yeah, this lot is very personal. But of course, if you guys download it and stuff, just use it, you know, however you want to use it. You can even use it for your own Build Newcrest Legacy Challenge if you'd like, and then add your own little like personal family things in here, you know. So yeah, just do whatever you want with it, but just so you guys know, that's kind of where the urn comes from. It's Stevie's husband. And there's also a horse sculpture there on the floor, which we will add, we will keep it with the urn. And that sculpture is from it's actually the first present that Stevie gave to Keenan, and it was like one of the first things that she handmade herself, and Keenan didn't like it. But I feel like Keenan, after a while, like really appreciated that gift. You know when someone tries, and it's probably not the best thing you've ever seen in the world, but you think, oh my god, yeah, the effort that went into that is just amazing. Like, thank you so much. So I don't know, I just kind of like that storyline that maybe Stevie would have found the whole sculpture again, and she would have kind of chuckled to herself and just kept it with Keenan, you know. So I thought that was a nice idea. And yeah, here I'm just wondering what to put outside of the house. I leave the flower ranging table, because again, it's just something extra for your Sims to do here if they would like to do that. There's quite a few flowers growing, so I guess your Sims could come, harvest them, and then make a nice bouquet or something. I think that's a pretty good idea. But yeah, so you can download this. There's no CC, guys, but if you, let's say, don't have some of the packs that I used, I don't think it's the end of the world. I mean, most of the things are just normal objects that you can easily replace with base game or like a few packs that you have, like the planter boxes, for example. You don't need eco lifestyle. You can just use the normal planter boxes, and things like that. So it's little objects that are easily replaceable. I don't think it would ruin your game or anything like that. So yeah, feel free to download it later once I put it up on the gallery, definitely. And here we are now onto the little house. This is the last thing that I finished in this lot. A really, really cute little place. I love the feeling of this, very cozy. And of course I kept the color again because that is Stevie's color. So I feel like before she would have moved out of here, she would have painted this whole house this lovely greeny blue color, the name of which I don't know. And I also added like a hobby board here, some announcements and things like that. I think this is a great place for the community to come together and catch up with what's happening. I didn't add like a polling station or anything like that from the eco lifestyle because I honestly don't use that really. But if you guys wanted to, go ahead. I think this is a great place to put your polling stations and things like that here as well. Or you could even, instead of having the kitchen here and some chairs, you could put like fabricating machines, whatever they are, and the candle making. So yeah, there's a lot of potential here, but I just, as I said, kept it quite simple. I did also add like a pet ball, so you can bring your dog to the park. And I don't know where the dog would be, to be honest. The park isn't that big, but I just think it's nice. I usually bring my pets to lots and then realize that I can't even feed them or things like that. So I thought, yeah, let me just add that. Here's a little seating area. Love these little sofas. It is very colorful in here, I think. Definitely is, but I think it works. I mean, I hope it works. I think this is quite a nice little space here. And then I will add like a bookcase, a stereo in here. As I said, a little kitchen, and also a fireplace. And the fireplace again is very special because when Stevie lived here, one of the first things she bought was a fireplace, and they don't have like a thermostat in the house, so during winter they would always light the fireplace up and yeah, kind of warm themselves up in the house. So again, that was a central part to the family, which I wanted to keep in this little house as well. But yeah, it's coming together. I don't think there's anything else that I really added in the house that was relatively special. Oh yeah, just some posters and things. So again, if there's events going on, I feel like they would be sort of shown over here in this place. And yeah, now we have the fireplace. I add a little plant here, and I think on that wall where the fireplace is later, I will add also portraits of Stevie and maybe Keenan as well, as they really made the lot what it is. And yeah, then at least the memory of Stevie remains. I think probably what I'll do is maybe, I don't know if I can get like a picture of her hung up on the wall, because now it's a community lot. But I'll just see how it works. So maybe before I upload it, yeah, as I said, I'll try to get a portrait of her in the house as well. But I think for you guys, I mean, it doesn't really matter because unless you want to play the exact same sim, then maybe it wouldn't make too much sense anyway. yeah, here I am adding some lights as well. So there are definitely plenty of lights around the park too. So it should be, you know, lit up well enough even in the night. Not that you would probably be in the park in the night, but yeah, everything is kind of ready to be used. And here we go, I'm adding Keenan's thing. I was wondering like where to add it, so I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll put it like a little table, but yeah, it just didn't really fit. So you'll see where I add it in the end. Here we go, I just lift it up onto the little fireplace, and then it's quite subtle as well, you know, it's not too like flashy and things like that. And here I add yeah, the little stereo. There we go, so it's coming together. It's a very cozy small space. Like I said, it just has the essentials, and again, a very basic bathroom as well. Again, has all the essentials that your Sims need and want. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. I'm actually off to work today. It is a Saturday, but I do work the weekends occasionally. I think every other weekend at the moment. So hence why I'm kind of getting this all done before work and things like that. But I'm happy that I have this to keep me busy, because now at the moment with everything that's going on, it's sometimes work is not as consistent. So it's nice to at least have this and look forward to it every day. And I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. The next videos that I will be doing on the channel is actually a few more building videos still, because then we will build the lower class hood, the lower class neighborhood, and we will build that for the next generation. So there's a few more building videos coming up, but after that we'll be on to generation 2, which I absolutely cannot wait for. We're gonna play with Tabitha and go down the family oriented route, so it's gonna be a lot of fun, guys. I hope you're looking forward to it too. But now we're gonna go on to the screenshots, so I'm gonna leave you. Enjoy and have a lovely rest of the day. See you soon. Bye bye.